Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future. I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
And hello, I'm Doug Llewellyn in our studio here in Los Angeles with our guests today who are ready to give us a very interesting interview on a pretty fascinating and very important subject. I'd like you to meet them now. They are representatives here from a company called Code 3 Realty and Mortgage, which is headquartered in Sacramento, California. On my left, Jonathan Burgess, who is the president and broker. And on his left is Kristen Snedeker, who is the vice president of the company. Folks, welcome. Nice to have you here. Before we begin, Jonathan, a short while ago, you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a brief look at some of that right now and see how it went. Okay?
I know you've been successful in your business, but what I would like to hear is just a brief capsule of exactly what it is you do and who do you do it for, and how do you see this helping America to move forward?
Mr. Shatner, we are in the real estate sales business. What we are doing today to help move America forward is solving for many Americans their biggest problem, foreclosure. It's a problem, Mr. Shatner, that is destroying the American dream, and we are devoting ourselves to bring American ways to overcome that problem.
You know, that was very interesting, Jonathan. You mentioned to Mr. Shatner that you are helping to solve one of the really serious problems facing many Americans these days, and that is the issue of foreclosure. How serious is this issue?
It's an extreme problem, and homeowners across America are all facing it. Declining property values have put a number of people just without homes or not really knowing what their options are, but it's a serious issue. It is nationwide, and we're doing as much as we can to help educate and bring information to people in these situations.
And here in California, because you're based in Sacramento, it's particularly serious in California, isn't it?
California was and is still, in fact, one of the hardest hit states when it came to the foreclosure crisis.
That's what I thought. So what is it you do to try and help people deal with this issue?
Well, the first thing that we do is we really try and educate people. And through education, we have to find out and listen to find out what that person in distress needs. Mm-hmm. Once we educate them on different options and scenarios, we then determine what's going to be the best option for them.
Well, let me ask Kristen, what are the first steps you go through with a client when they come to you and you realize what their situation is?
Well, first we try to find out, what is the root of the problem and what is the best solution for them. Some of the different options available is going to be a loan modification, a government-sponsored refinance program, or a short sale. And we do find that most of the time the short sale is the best fit for that homeowner.
Most of these people, I gather, are living in situations where their home has lost a lot of value, but yet their mortgage still has the original value attached, so they're underwater, so to speak.
Correct.
And is that where you feel that the short sale is most appropriate?
Absolutely. Short sale is defined as the homeowner owing more than what the current market value of the property is.
So let me ask you, just define short sale and what you do in that. What is a short sale all about?
Basically, a short sale is, like Kristen explained, when somebody owes more in their house than what it's worth. So for example, if I owe $200,000 on my house and it's only worth $100,000, and I can't continue to make my payment, we would then negotiate with the bank to allow that person to sell their house for the $100,000. What we try and do a lot of times is encourage people to remain in the homes versus leaving the home and abandoning it. A lot of times people don't know they leave their home. It's abandoned, it hurts the neighborhood, and then once it actually forecloses, it's further decline in property value.
Well, of course, that also has a real negative impact on them and their credit report and everything else, right?
It does, and one of the benefits of a short sale is that a homeowner could actually buy a house within 2 years. In some cases, depending on their circumstance, they can buy a house right after a short sale.
If they're able to.
if they're able to.
How do you make this arrangement with the banks? Are they willing to accept this? If the party has a $200,000 mortgage, and yet they have to have an offer for someone who wants to buy the property, right?
Yes, and it all starts with finding the best real estate agent to fit your needs, somebody who is familiar with negotiating directly with the banks.
Right.
And once you do begin those negotiations and you do get a viable offer, the bank will, most of the time, agree to approve the short sale. And
So in effect, they're excusing, if it's in the case we just mentioned, a $200,000 mortgage, they get a $100,000, they're willing to excuse that $100,000 that they're still owed?
In most cases, yes, and that is something that would be laid out in the short sale approval letter. Most of the time it will say that they are agreeing to forgive the deficiency balance, which is the difference between what you sell the home for and what you owe on it.
And why would a bank do that? What's the big advantage to them?
It's actually cheaper for a bank to actually short sell a house than it is to foreclose. The other thing a lot of people don't know is banks are actually giving relocation assistance for people to stay in the homes and do a successful short sale. And that's a huge benefit to the person that's can't afford their house to actually get. There's certain scenarios where people have actually gotten tens of thousands of dollars to short sell their house versus allow it to foreclose and then relocate.
And that's money to help them move out of the home, find another place to live, to rent an apartment or whatever it might be?
Exactly. And in a lot of cases, we encourage that. And in some cases, short sale is not always the best option. And so that's where we come in. We'll actually look and determine what's going to be best. We have a lot of clients that say, hey, I want to stay in my house, whatever it takes, I want to do. And at the end of the day, it's going to be up to the client, who's the homeowner, if they can work out a situation, or we help them, point them in the right direction.
Can you help renegotiate their existing mortgage and maybe get the payments much lower to where they could afford it? I mean, is that something that you do? Or is that a different
We
ballgame?
personally do not do that. We recommend that the homeowners negotiate directly with the banks. They're much more willing to work with people on a one-on-one basis.
And I just add to that is when people are renegotiating, that's known as a loan modification, and it's a modification of the terms. And so a lot of times what people don't understand is it's just that, a modification. So that balance that's modified, it doesn't go away. So it's not actually a principal reduction. But again, when somebody calls or we're looking at a client, those are all options that we give them. And the most part of it is just giving them the education to make the right decision.
Most people aren't really aware of the short sale, are they? I mean, that's something that you don't hear talked about a lot.
Yeah, I think it's coming up more and more, but so many people are just not familiar of the options that are available to them, and they just give up and walk away from their homes.
What's the effect on them once the short sale is approved? I'm talking about their credit worthiness and things like that. It's as we pointed out, it's better than going through a foreclosure. You're not going through a bankruptcy, and you said they can qualify within 2 years to buy a home again if they can afford it?
They can within 2 years, sometimes 3, but there are certain situations where it's a true hardship. And one example would be if you had a 2-story home and for some reason a spouse couldn't make it up the stairs and you had no upstairs bedrooms.
All right.
That's a hardship. In situations like that, there have been the opportunities for those people to sell their house short and then buy another house the next day. But that's rare. However, it's a situation that happens.
And a lot of it has to do with how many payments you miss on your mortgage. If you don't miss any payments and you still are able to go through a short sale, in a hardship circumstance, you can turn around right away and buy again. So to answer your question, the effect on your credit is going to come down to how many payments you are behind.
In addition to doing things like this, you also are a typical, normal real estate agency. You sell homes, throughout the Sacramento area. And normal homes,
Yeah, we actually sell normal homes throughout the Sacramento area. We've got 4 office locations, mostly in Northern California, one in Riverside, California.
Okay.
But yeah, we do traditional real estate as well.
I understand you also do educational telephone conferences. Is that right? Tell me about that.
We've had great success with our First Call for Help, which is a free conference call that we offer to homeowners and also renters, just to allow people to call in and ask the questions that maybe they're afraid to ask somebody face to face. So it's all anonymous, and it's just a good platform for them to get information.
Tell me about your organization.
Well, I'd like to elaborate a little bit on what Kristen said, the First Call for Help. And that started because a lot of times you get workshops, you hear about people people don't want to necessarily go to a workshop and air out that they're in foreclosure in front of a number of people.
Very
Whereas
true.
a telephone conference, they'd be more likely to do it. And so we offer that to make those people feel more comfortable, but more importantly, to give them the education and information that they need.
And how big is your organization?
We've got 25 real estate agents right now. And we, like I said, 4 offices.
That's a good size.
Yeah.
One thing I want to point out before we're out of time is that I know you do a lot of things to help people. One of the other things that even got you into this, you started as a fire chief in the fire department. You may not have been the chief when you started, but you rose to be a chief in the Sacramento Fire Department, and you still are. You're a battalion fire chief, right?
Yeah, I actually started out, and I still am, but I started as a firefighter before I was ever in real estate.
Right.
And interesting enough, I never knew, 17 years ago we were going to be in a housing crisis like we are, but both fields allow me to help people. And this is something that I truly enjoy doing. And my company was built actually on helping people and giving them all the right options.
Well, I just want to point out you have a lot of different certificates here that your education in the real estate world is extensive, and you obviously know what you're talking about. This has been very interesting hearing about short sales, and I know there are a lot of people watching this who probably would love to talk to you, and they can reach you at your website or your offices.
Yeah,
in
they can reach
Sacramento.
out at our website, our office address, and even people that are in foreclosure or that have foreclosed. Because we have that extensive knowledge and working for the banks,
Yep.
we can oftentimes offer a lot of valuable information as well. So,
Well, listen, it's been a real pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for coming to talk to us, and good luck.
Thank you.
thank you.
I'm William Shatner, and you're watching Moving America Forward.
This organization represents companies across our great nation that embody the spirit, dedication, know-how, and can-do attitude which has made America the great nation it is today. And now let's present the Keeping America Strong Award.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Jonathan Burgess, the president and broker at Code 3 Realty and Mortgage in Sacramento, California, for the outstanding work that his company is doing to help keep America moving forward.
Thank you. Kristen, I'll let you take it.
Yeah, thank you so much. On behalf of Jonathan, myself, and everyone in our office, we just want to thank you for letting us be here.
Well, listen, it's a real pleasure, and again, thank you so much. It's a reward, an award that you richly deserve. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for another edition of Moving America Forward. I'm Bert Tenzer. Join us again as we continue to bring you the entrepreneurs who move America forward.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.